prison built for one monster, a valley protected by legendary warriors. And the only hope standing between them is not the strongest fighter, not the fastest student, and not even one of the 5 masters everyone expects. It is a panda who can barely climb a staircase without losing his breath. Before that danger reaches him, Po is living a very different life. In his dreams, he is a fearless kung fu legend, surrounded by enemies who fall before him with every move. The greatest warriors respect him, and the whole world knows his name. But when he wakes up, that powerful hero is just Po, clumsy, late, and stuck working at his father's noodle shop. Po loves kung fu with everything in him, but his father, Mr. Ping, wants him to inherit the family noodle business. To Mr. Ping, Po's future is simple: noodles, customers, and the secret ingredient, soup. But Po's heart is somewhere else. He wants to be near kung fu. He wants to see the masters. Deep down, he wants a life bigger than soup. And if you enjoy recaps that actually follow the story properly, subscribe, because Po's simple day is about to turn into something nobody in the valley is ready for. High above the village, at the Jade Palace, the Furious Five are training under Master Shifu. Tigress, Monkey, Mantis, Viper, and Crane are disciplined, powerful, and respected by everyone. Any one of them seems worthy of becoming the legendary dragon warrior. But above Shifu stands Master Oogway, the old tortoise whose wisdom carries more weight than anyone else's strength. When Oogway summons Shifu, he reveals a terrifying vision. Tai Lung will return. Shifu is shaken. Tai Lung is supposed to be locked away in a prison no one can escape. But Oogway says nothing is impossible, and the valley must prepare. The Dragon Warrior must be chosen, and that warrior will receive the Dragon Scroll, a sacred scroll believed to contain the secret to limitless power. A ceremony is announced, and the whole valley rushes to the Jade Palace. Everyone believes one of the Furious Five will be chosen. They have trained for years, and they are the obvious choice. Po hears the news and desperately wants to go. But before he can leave, his father gives him the noodle cart, thinking Po is going to sell food at the ceremony. Po tries to drag the cart up the giant staircase, but the climb is impossible. He eventually abandons it and forces himself up the mountain. By the time he reaches the top, the palace doors are already closed. Inside, the ceremony begins. The Furious Five perform before the crowd, showing exactly why they are legends. Outside, Po tries everything to get in. He peeks, climbs, struggles, and fails. Then, he sees fireworks and gets a terrible idea. He straps fireworks to a chair, lights them, and launches himself into the air. Instead of landing like a hero, he crashes into the middle of the arena. The crowd freezes. Shifu is horrified. Who gets chosen? But Master Oogway points directly at him. Po is chosen as the Dragon Warrior. No one understands it. Shifu insists it must be a mistake. The Furious Five are stunned, especially Tigress, who believed this moment belonged to her. Even Po can barely process it. But while the valley reacts to Po's selection, Shifu sends a messenger named Zeng to Chorgom Prison with orders to double the guard. The prison is massive and heavily protected. The Rhino Guards are confident that Tai Lung can never escape. They show Zeng the prisoner chained deep inside the fortress, locked down so tightly he can barely move. But their confidence becomes the mistake. When one of Zeng's feathers falls near Tai Lung, the prisoner notices it. That tiny feather is all he needs. Back at the Jade Palace, Po enters the world he has always dreamed about. The weapons, relics, and training halls amaze him. But Shifu does not see a chosen warrior. He sees a mistake. So instead of welcoming Po, Shifu tries to scare him away. He humiliates him in training, throws him into equipment he cannot handle, and lets the Furious Five watch as Po gets knocked around again and again. To them, he is not the Dragon Warrior. He is a joke, wearing a title he did not earn. That night, Po tries to connect with the Five, but they reject him. Tigress tells him clearly that he does not belong there. Crushed, Po sits under the peach tree and admits to Oogway that he feels like a mistake. Oogway gently reminds him not to live trapped between yesterday and tomorrow. What matters is the present. Po does not fully understand yet, but the words keep him from giving up. Meanwhile, Tai Lung makes his move. Using the feather, he unlocks himself and breaks free. The guards attack, but he turns their own weapons against them. They try to stop him with force, numbers, and even by destroying the bridge, but nothing works. Tai Lung defeats them all and lets Zeng escape for one reason: to warn Shifu that he is coming home. The next morning, Shifu thinks Po has finally quit, but when he reaches the training ground, Po is already there, trying to train by himself. Shifu becomes even more frustrated. He orders Po to face the Furious Five one by one. and Po is beaten badly. Then, Shifu fights him too, pushing him harder than ever. But no matter how many times Po falls, he keeps getting back up. Later, as Po's injuries are treated, Tigress explains why Shifu is so cold. Long ago, Shifu found Tai Lung as a child and raised him like a son. He trained him, loved him, and filled him with the belief that he was destined for greatness. Tai Lung became powerful, but Oogway saw darkness in him and refused to make him the Dragon Warrior. That rejection broke Tai Lung. He attacked the valley and tried to take the Dragon Scroll by force. Shifu could not bring himself to stop the student he loved, so Oogway defeated Tai Lung himself and had him imprisoned. Since then, Shifu has never been the same. Then Zhang returns with the news. Tai Lung has escaped. Shifu rushes to Oogway, terrified that Po cannot stop him, but Oogway tells Shifu to believe in Po. Then, with peace in his heart, Oogway says his time has come. Shifu begs him not to leave, but Oogway simply tells him to believe before fading into a swirl of peach blossoms. Now, Shifu has no choice. He must train the panda Oogway chose. At first, nothing works. Po panics under pressure, doubts himself, and knows Shifu does not truly believe in him. The Furious Five decide they cannot wait for Po to become a warrior, so they leave secretly to stop Tai Lung themselves. Then, Shifu discovers something important. Po may fail during normal training, but when food is involved, he suddenly moves with surprising speed, balance, and focus. Shifu realizes he has been training Po the wrong way. Po is not motivated by fear or discipline like the others. He is motivated by food. So Shifu changes his method. He uses food as the reward, and finally, Po begins to improve. He trains harder, moves better, and starts turning his strange body into an advantage instead of a weakness. Their final test comes over one dumpling. Shifu and Po fight for it with speed and strategy, and this time, Po wins. But instead of eating it, he says he is not hungry anymore. For Shifu, that proves Po has changed. Far away, the Furious Five confront Tai Lung on a narrow bridge. They fight together, using everything they have, but Tai Lung is too strong. He defeats them one by one and leaves them unable to continue. Crane carries them back to the palace, and when Shifu sees their condition, he realizes the truth. If the Furious Five could not stop Tai Lung, Po's only hope is the Dragon Scroll. Shifu gives Po the scroll, expecting it to reveal the final secret. Everyone watches as Po opens it, but there is nothing inside. No words, no technique, no hidden power, just a blank, reflective surface. Hope collapses. Shifu decides to face Tai Lung himself and orders everyone else to evacuate the valley. Po returns to his father, broken and confused. Mr. Ping tries to comfort him by finally revealing the truth about his famous secret ingredient soup. There is no secret ingredient. The soup is special because people believe it is special. That simple truth changes everything. Po looks at the Dragon Scroll again and finally understands. It was never empty. It was showing him himself. There was no magic power hidden inside it. The secret was belief. While Po realizes this, Tai Lung reaches the Jade Palace. He confronts Shifu, and their fight is filled with years of pain. Tai Lung does not just want the scroll. He wants Shifu to admit that he should have been chosen. Shifu apologizes and admits he filled Tai Lung with pride. But Tai Lung is too consumed by anger to receive it. When he learns the scroll is with Po, his rage explodes. He attacks Shifu, ready to finish him. Then Po arrives. Tai Lung laughs when he sees that this panda is the Dragon Warrior. But Po stands his ground and holds up the scroll. Tai Lung attacks, and their fight spills from the palace into the village. Tai Lung is powerful, precise, and dangerous. Po is awkward, unpredictable, and strangely hard to hurt. His body absorbs attacks differently. His mistakes turn into advantages. His clumsy movements confuse Tai Lung because Po is not fighting like anyone he has faced before. Tai Lung finally gets the scroll and opens it. Nothing. No secret, no power, no answer. His whole life has been built around this moment, and the thing he chased for years gives him nothing. But Tai Lung cannot accept that. He attacks again, trying to use the nerve strike that defeated the Furious Five. But on Po, it does not work. It only tickles him. That breaks the fear completely. Po fights back with confidence, using his weight, humor, and strange style as strengths. He is no longer trying to become someone else. He is fighting as himself. Finally, Po catches Tai Lung's finger. Tai Lung recognizes the Wuxi finger hold and asks if Shifu taught him that. Po says he figured it out. Then he finishes. A blast rolls through the valley, and when the dust clears, Tai Lung is gone. The villagers return and stare at the figure walking through the haze. For a second, Po looks like a legendary warrior. Then they see the cooking pot on his head. The valley celebrates. Mr. Ping proudly claims him as his son, and the Furious Five bow to Po with real respect. The panda everyone doubted has become the Dragon Warrior. But Po remembers Shifu and rushes back to the palace. He finds his master lying still and panics, thinking he may be too late. Shifu opens his eyes and calmly tells him he is not dying. He is only at peace.